CBSE Board, Class 11, History, Chapter 4, Part 6, Audio by Renee Matthew. The steam engine was used in coal mines until James Watt developed his machine in 1769. So till then the steam engine was used till James Watt invented something new. And the invention converted the steam engine from being a mere pump into a prime mover, capable of providing energy to power machines in factories. So now it was acting like a pump which gave more energy to many machines in factories. So it was converted. So that you can see that a series of inventions took place, and that too according to the requirement of the people. The people were so blessed enough to have it that after one invention after invention, things changed according to their invention, and that was very important. And that is what is seen here on the screen. Backed by the wealthy manufacturer Matthew Boulton, Watt created the Soho foundry in Birmingham in 1775. So the wealthy people were also ready to fund and finance the inventors. So Soho Foundry was found in Birmingham, and that is the picture shown there. So from this foundry, Watt's steam engines produced in steadily growing numbers. So they were produced from this foundry. It was very easy to supply these machines also now. So by the 18th century, what happened? Watt's steam engine was beginning to replace hydraulic power. Nobody wanted to use water now, and there were factories or foundries which were providing machines to different parts of England and also the other places in Europe. So it replaced water now. Steam replaced water. So Watt's inventions was not just limited. Okay, it was not at all limited. It were not limited to the steam engine. He invented a particular chemical process for copying documents also. He was a great inventor. He invented one chemical process which helped in copying documents. He created a unit of measurement which was based on comparing mechanical power with that of the previous universal power source, the horse. Now we need to explain that. Watt's measurement unit, horsepower, was very equal to the ability of a horse to lift 33,000 pounds, that is almost 15 kg, 1 foot in 1 minute. So that was the power which was given by Watt. Okay, the horsepower remains universally used. It is universally used as what? As an index of mechanical energy. So that is how things were developed, and the chemical process was also developed, and the new unit was also developed by Watts. Now we need to look at the steam engine technology which took place after 1800. It was further developed with the use of lighter, stronger materials. The metals were stronger but also lighter. And manufacture of accurate tools now took place. Earlier the tools were rough and rugged and was not very precise to use them. And it also led to the spread of better scientific knowledge. So lighter, stronger metals after 1800, manufacture of accurate machine tools took place, and also spread of scientific knowledge also took place. So in 1840, what happened? The steam engines were generating more than 70% of all European horsepower. So British steam engines started progressing, and it was evolving into a great industrial revolution after that. That itself was a great revolution. Now we need to look at canals and railways, very important part. Canals were initially built for what? For transporting coal to cities. It was for a just small scale transportation, just to transport coal to cities. And this was because the bulk and weight of coal made it very difficult to carry or to transport coal through roads. And it became very slower when you transported it via road. And that was very expensive also. So now when they transported it by barges on canals, it was very easy. It was very I told you that it was very heavy. So when they started transporting over the canals, they found it much more easier. It became lighter. So the demand for coal as industrial energy and for heating and lighting homes and everything, it grew constantly. The demand for coal was actually expanding, especially for heating, lighting and everything. It just grew constantly. Okay. Now, the making of the first English canal, the Worsley Canal, by James Brindley, had no other purpose than to carry coal from the coal deposits at Worsley from Manchester. So it was very easy to carry coal from the coal fields from Manchester, especially from the deposits over this canal, and it was only for this purpose that the canal was actually built to other parts of the city. And the canal was completed, the price of coal fell by half. So when this canal was completed, the price of coal also fell by half, because it was very easy to transport now. Transportation only increased the cost of these things, right? So this is the Worsley Canal. Now, canals were built by landowners, very wealthy landowners, to increase the value of the mines, the quarries, or forests on their land. So it was really built by the landowners so that it is very economical for them, and it was to support and also to increase the value of the mines, the quarries, and the forest which were on their lands. The confluence of the canals, that is the a point of juncture, the joining of the canals, actually created marketing centers in new towns. The canals got together. It led to the production of great marketing centers, especially in new towns. Now we have to take a look at the city of Birmingham, for example. The growth of Birmingham took place because of its position at the heart of a canal system. And this particular system connected London, the Bristol Channel, and the Mersey and Humber rivers. This canal system, that is the city of Birmingham, connected London, Bristol Channel, the Mersey, and the Humber. From 1760 to 1790, 25 new canal building projects came up, and that also sprung up, which led to more and more flourishment in the period known as the Canal Mania. It was known as the Canal Mania, very important point. From 1788 to 1796, new projects came up, especially 46 new projects came up over the next 60 years, and more than 4,000 miles of canals were built. It started with the Worsley Canal, and then people understood how economical it is to build canal and also to transport it. And that is how the Canal Mania took over. So once human beings, when they do something for a period of time, they get fed up, they get bored with it, and then they go to the next process or to the next step, you can say. The first steam locomotive, Stephenson's rocket, appeared in 1814, the first locomotive, very important invention. Railways emerged as a new means of transportation, and it was available throughout the year. It was very cheap, and also it was fast, and it was very convenient to carry both passengers and goods at the same time. This combined two inventions, the iron track, which replaced the wooden track. So it was more sturdy now. The iron track was replaced in the 1760s, and haulage along it by steam engine. Hauling was done by the steam engine along with that. So two main inventions, which was iron track and also the steam engine. What a great invention, and that is how it just flourished. So this is Stephenson's rocket. As you can see here, the first locomotive, very cute and very compact. The invention of the railways took industrialization phase to the second stage. Richard Trevithick had devised an engine called the Puffing Devil. Okay, so this is the picture of the Puffing Devil, not the Stephenson's rocket. In the upcoming slides, we will get to see the Stephenson's rocket, but this is Puffing Devil. Okay, very compact and precise, which pulled trucks around the mine where he worked in Cornwall. So it started pulling the trucks. It was very convenient for them to pull the trucks. It was very sturdy and strong, and that is why it was named as the Puffing Devil. and that was invented by a person called Richard Trevithick. Now, what is this? The new invention, very important part. In 1814, the railway engineer George Stephenson constructed a locomotive, and the name of that was the Blucher. It could pull a weight of 30 tons up a hill at 4 mph. Okay, so this was the Blucher, very important point, very important. It was slightly different from the puffing machine, and the usage was to pull weight of 30 tons up a hill. The first railway line connected the cities of Stockton and Darlington in 1825. The first railway line connecting these two places, very important point, Stockton and Darlington. It was over a distance of 9 miles. It was completed in 2 hours at speeds of up to 24 kilometers per hour. And the next railway line connected Liverpool and Manchester. So 2 lines came up, and look at the speed and the distance it covered also for you to write. Suppose they ask for short notes or explanations. And within 20 years, speeds of 30 to 50 miles an hour were usual. So they started putting up more railway lines, and that is what the Britishers brought to India also, and more miles were actually covered. In the 1830s, what happened? The use of canals revealed several problems, because there was this canal mania, but it was not very easy to use the canals always. It revealed a lot of problem. The congestion of vessels made the movement very slow, because more heavier vessels were moving on water. It made it very slow on structures of canals, and frost, flood or drought limited the time of their use. So when they had flood and frost and drought, it was very difficult to transport these heavy iron through the canals, and that limited the trade or their necessity. The railways now appeared as a main source, so they used railways to transport all these metals as a convenient alternative. About 6,000 miles of railway was opened in Britain just for this course between 1830 and 1850. Now it was very easy for them to transport it, and most of it took place in 2 short bursts. It was an alternative, very good alternative to carry these metals. Okay. Now, during the Little Railway Mania, next is the Little Railway Mania. The year is also given there, 1833 to 37. 1,400 miles of line was built, and during the Bigger Mania, which is from 1844 to 47, another 9,500 miles of line was sanctioned. So more and more lines came up, and vast amount of coal and iron were actually transported. It employed huge number of people, workers, to actually work to transport the coal and iron. And you should remember that this job did not give healthy conditions to the people. It was not very good for their health, but it boosted the activity in the construction and public work industries. So when the coal and iron industries flourished, it also led to an increase or progress in the transportation, and that boosted the public work industries also. So most of England was connected by railway by 1850. Completely it was connected by railway in 1850. Now, who were the inventors? Who were the big brains behind this? We have to see that. It is interesting to find out the individuals who worked behind or who brought about these drastic changes. Of course, some of them were trained scientists. Some of them had professionally, they were scientists who knew all the technical side and everything of the invention and discoveries. And of course, education in basic science was a requirement like physics or chemistry, but that was actually limited. Many people were not very well, they did not have much knowledge on these subjects till the late 19th century. But after the technological inventions, which is described above, after that only we got people who were very good in these, who had profound knowledge in physics or chemistry. So who were the real inventors if they did not have many people good in physics or chemistry? Now these breakthroughs did not require a full knowledge of the laws. People who knew little also invented, on which they were based. Advances could be and were made by brilliant because these thinkers were intuitive and because of their persistent experimentation. Suppose they did something and suppose they failed, they did not stop with that. They continued experimenting, so trying and trying and trying, and finally they succeeded. So it is not that they were great propellants of physics or chemistry, but it is only because of their innovation and their hard work that they succeeded. But little bit of knowledge is enough for them to go forward with such kind of activity.